Can you spot the significant difference between these two golf swings? One of them is going to give you effortless power and consistency. The other is going to leave you frustrated hitting all sorts of shots, but it is a very simple setup adjustment. Can you see it? I'm going to show you how to implement it. The difference of those two swings was minuscule, but it is so profound the difference it's going to make on your shots. What were we talking about? It was the setup. If you don't place your arms in a neutral position, you are always going to be chasing your tail, as it were, in the golf swing. And what I mean, and one of the biggest things I see, mistake that golfers make, is basically taking the setup. There is no structure in the arms. The arms tend to bow out a little bit here, a little bit. And why that happens is because we're trying to sort of keep some rigid formality to it. We're trying to keep our posture nice and tall and things like this, and we're letting the arms hang. If we let the arms hang on the side of the chest here, so we're on the side of the chest, we're trying to reach our hands together, obviously, to make our grip. But if we're on the side of the chest, they're going to form this sort of quite big space in the middle. And what that can do is, I mean, there's so many issues that it can create on the backswing and the downswing. On the backswing, what tends to happen from this setup, no matter how hard you try, you can get very sort of disconnected. This elbow starts kind of flying up that way, and I haven't manipulated my swing in any manner. It is just the fact that I am repeating my setup position where my arms are on the side of my chest. I'm trying to make a backswing, but because I started in such a way, my elbow now is going to tend to kind of want to fly away a little bit this way, and I start getting a bit disjointed. The sequence comes unstuck. So much happens on the backswing, yes, but also on the downswing, we often see the arms coming a little bit too steep this way, the arms outracing the body. So we can see some sort of swings looking a bit like that, okay? A little bit too much effort, especially for the weak results. But why does it make such a difference? Why does it have that kind of factor? Well, it's all about the sequence the golf swing is. We want it to be as natural and smooth as possible. We want to create some structure without being too rigid. And one of the best tips I can give you to find immediate connection with allowing flow, structure with movement is this. If you find that yourself, when you're taking your setup, and it's with driver, it's with irons, if you find that you're sort of on the side of your chest here a little bit, okay? I want you to, with or without a club, get up and try it now. You're going to take your grip, and you're going to sort of pinch your arms together. And you may have heard or seen this, you know, Ben Hogan's wrapping some rope around, trying to keep it connected. But that can feel very awkward for people if you start sort of on the side of the chest here, trying to bring those arms in, and then it creates this real sort of tension, trying to squeeze those arms together, which is going to ruin a ton of other things. So a better way to keep those arms together so we can deliver the club a little bit easier with a little bit more authority rather than here, and also to give us some more neutral backswing, take your grip, put your arms in front of you here. And what we're going to do is just slowly lower them on top of the chest, just on top, a few inches, until you can feel your upper chest just sort of touching the back of your triceps up here. So it's a very careful placement of these arms. I'm not tense, I'm not forcing them down, and I'm certainly not keeping like my elbows tucked in. This isn't about that. It's about the connection from the upper chest to the upper arms, which will help the arm and body sequence happen a lot more naturally, a lot more consistently. So take the club and place it on top of your chest. And now from there, we take our setup and we come down. And the reason why this works so well is because we want to try and maintain this contact up here all the way through the swing. The backswing, all the way to the top. I'm still sort of feeling my upper chest connected. But here's the thing, I'm not forcing it. I'm not really going like, okay, gotta keep it there. It's tight in. It's more of an awareness. Just being aware, are you still maintaining that connection? Because it will help you swing around a central point and allow those arms to follow what your body wants to do. They're not fighting against each other. But we're also not trying to sort of lock everything in, keeping those elbows tight and super connected. That stuffs you as well. This works great to show you your vulnerabilities when it comes to chipping and pitching. Chipping, we often see a disconnect here, trying to keep it overly connected, and we end up sort of doing a big putting action. Same with pitching. It's like you kind of see it moves a little bit like that. I'm exaggerating, I'm not trying to be mean to everyone, but that's the way it is. I like to exaggerate, and when you try things, you got to make sure that you exaggerate the feels, so it's like, ah, that's what you're talking about. If I place my arms on top of the chest and let them hang, and now allow my body to move with structure and flow, there is so much more reliability in my delivery. Things are working in harmony, from a chip to a pitch, iron to a drive. We can try and utilize a couple of drills to emphasize it. One of them, I know you've seen it, whether it's a head cover or putting a glove underneath your arms, so you could put one here and under here. But the problem with that drill is it forces you, way too many of you, to kind of keep those elbows tucked in. You're so conscious about keeping this glove intact. But look, I can keep it there, but it's not on top of my chest, it's on the side. So if my only objective is to try and keep this on its, keep it connected, I can do that, but I can really sort of cheat doing it. So I end up swinging all the way around here. Oh, look, the glove's intact. And I can swing through. Oh, look, the glove's intact. That is not going to give you the sequence. It's going to give you something that can easily look more like this. Very body orientated. Another one is placing T-pegs right in your armpit on both sides, okay? Again, this isn't about keeping the elbows sort of pinned together. It is just the upper chest. And if you find this a little bit hard, it's probably because you're too much on the side. This becomes a little bit easier the more we have the arms on top of our chest. It's much easier to create a longer swing with a better plane the more on top of our chest the shoulders are. If my task is to keep these T-pegs in place, but I have the setup that is bringing the arms on the side of the chest, I can do that, but my swing ends up much more like this. But now, if I have exactly the same intention, but I start with my arms a little bit more on top, I have a more athletic setup just by it, and it's much easier for my club to stay on plane. I haven't made a different golf swing. It's exactly the same golf swing, but because of that sort of arm club unit pinning to my chest, the top of the chest, it keeps the arms in front of me rather than sort of down here. And that's it. So you can start practicing to create some awareness with some T's. But I love this because you don't need to do the drills. Just have the placement on top of your chest. It'll feel like, shrug out the shoulders, put it on top, then take your setup. And it's as simple as that. And the great thing is it works on the through swing as well. To demonstrate the through swing with the setup that's on the side of the chest, it's much harder to keep that connection through. It always feels like I'm forcing it, trying to either stay connected or to get a nice smooth release. But we put those arms on top, it's much easier to have connected release where the arms just flow with the body pivot. Everything's working in harmony, and it is as simple as putting the arms on top of the chest for every shot you hit. So go through your little routine, arms on top of the chest, and then swing. Connection, accuracy, effortless power. Give that a try. Have a monitor where you see your setup at. Put this into some practice swings, and let me know how you get on. Now, if you want to take the rest of your swing with a little bit more power, with a zip release, check out this video. I think you'll enjoy it.